Audio's live now as well, by the way.
60, 59, 58.
Now I put
57.
these on, I've got to leave them on now because I can't. When I take them off, things fucking blurred.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of glasses, Mark. You're supposed to, wear them so you can see, dude.
I know.
Wow.
I'm not used to wearing them.
Alright.
Yeah.
What are you crying about?
He's just crying.
I know.
Everything.
Besides, you don't even need me to start the show. It's Robin. Like a rhinestone cow.
I've got a special
Like
outro lined up for us as well.
I bet you do.
I do.
You're a fucking lion, dog faced pony soldier.
You're a lion, dog face, pony soldier.
Yeah.
I think it was disgraceful.
Okay, let's go.
Right, we're
Let me
ready.
open, let me
Right.
open my nuts.
I can't use my bloody stream deck because I've not set
I
it
thought your
up.
nuts were already open.
Right, quiet please.
Sorry.
Stop playing with your nuts. Oh, for fuck's sake. We are now late because of Robin.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God,
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I used the condom.
He had to air out his nuts. It happened.
Yeah, right. I'm going to mute you. This is...
Fine.
No, not really. Right.
We've lost Pete again, by the way.
No, we haven't.
Oh, okay.
You've lost Pete. Pete is right there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Troopers, hello. This is the Overseas Connection podcast. This is episode 570 for March the 15th in 2020. Wow, what a week, what a few weeks. I'm Robin Tate, and I'm at Pongo the Sean. I am your host this evening. And yeah, the world has been full of doom and gloom, and we hope to bring you some light and some warmth and some smiles and some giggles. And tonight, people that are going to help me do that, apart from Captain Morgan, is Mark Wright. Hi, Mark. Mark Alex.
Hello, Robin. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm just busy
Hello,
working
Greg.
away here.
Hello, Robin.
Hello, Peachin.
Hello, Robin.
Hello, Kim Woods.
I thought you said peaching.
Hello, Robin.
Yeah. So here we are. I'm so glad. No.
It's not me.
No, it has to be that DeLacy boy. When he's not hosting, he doesn't know what to do with himself. Anyway, every week is that guy?
Sorry.
This is going to be a challenging evening.
Yeah.
Every week on Sunday at 9 o'clock, while we are still alive, we podcast at 9 o'clock in the UK, 1 p.m. West Coast, and 4 p.m. East Coast, 3 p.m. Central, whatever way it works out in America right now, because yous are in the future, and it's kind of weird because you're still behind. Anyway. And seemingly the world says you're about 4 weeks behind, but there you go. We broadcast live on twitch.tv /OC podcast, mixer.com OC podcast, and youtube.com /OC podcast. Okay. Yeah. Before we get started, there's a couple of birthdays this week. Denak Tiku. DeMarcus, what a fantastic name that is. He will be 33 on the Thursday. And another fantastic name, Patrizio David. He's a certain age. It's undefined on Friday. So happy birthday, listeners. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great time this week. Okay, so thanks everybody. Oh, Luis Raimondo. Denak Tiku. So who's DeMarcus Parks then? Sorry, am I wrong? Sorry.
Black Thunder.
Black Thunder on Xbox. Yeah.
Black Thunder. Goodness. Well, do you know what?
You've never seen them
his
together
birthday
though. They might be the same person.
No, could be the same thing. And sometime this year it'll be his birthday. Yeah, a really challenging week for everybody. So we are going to try and tackle some of the stuff that's been going on. We know it's been really, really tough on a lot of people. Yeah, and I know it sounds sort of crazy, but gaming still goes on and a bit of fun still goes on.
Mhm.
And I just feel that this week has been such a negative thing that I actually missed talking about Brexit, because we've seemed to be completely engulfed, and rightly so, with this virus.
Right there with you, Robin. I want to get back to talking politics at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, some people are still talking politics and blaming people, which is wrong. We should, as a world, as a population, as humans, we should be coming together to fight this. And it doesn't matter when, what came, and what test kit. It doesn't matter what. This thing is here, and we have to support each other to get our way through. And we will fight it on the Xbox. And we will fight it on the PlayStation, and we will defeat it on the PC. We will do this together. Thank you, Richard.
And none of us will be on Stadia.
It's already dead.
You notice the Switch was never mentioned as well.
No, that's right. Yeah. So here we are. So let's have a chat about some of the stuff that's been going on this week, Mark.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
Okay. The week for me was cancelled. I am starting with me. I'm being selfish. I'm sorry. The world cancelled me this week. I'm kind of disappointed. I was going to see Steve Martin on Thursday evening. He was in Dublin on Wednesday. The Dublin show went ahead. It was supposed to be fantastic, and I'm not surprised that it was cancelled Thursday evening, but I have to say I was disappointed. The London shows were also cancelled on Friday and Saturday evening, rightly so. But again, when is Steve Martin going to come to Ireland again? So I will have to track him down somewhere. But other things for me. Even today, I was supposed to be doing a big new installation of, funny enough, an ice cream parlor in a place for a large contract customer of mine. We're doing 13 or 14 of these over the next few weeks, and they contacted me this afternoon to say, "Look, I know we're starting the building works tomorrow morning. Maybe we better not." And not so much because of the virus, but because the supermarket that it's going to tomorrow has been completely and utterly demolished by shoppers over the last 48 hours. And it's all hands on deck to try and get it restocked again. And they just don't want the disturbance of building work going on around the place. This week, on Thursday, I was sponsoring a large store of the year event, black tie do. We had a table at it. We had a bit of a trade show going on, 300 people, and the plugs were pulled on that over the last few days as well. So that's been kind of. I was looking forward to the black tie. It's not often I get dressed up that way. And my fridge died.
Oh no!
Hell.
Yeah. We had power outs a little while ago. And I kept on thinking, what is the fridge? Why is water coming down? Is it the fridge? Is it the water? Yeah, so we just bite the bullet. And thank God it was the fridge, because Judith would have kept me going forever, because the powers are...
Oh. Oh.
Oh, wow.
What was that?
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
That wasn't my PC this time. So we've not dropped any frames. That's got to be Skype.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That was weird.
Was that that was like a blast.
Sake. You're all in the wrong place now.
I know.
It's okay. I don't mind being
So today I went out. Today I went out to get some milk and some bits and pieces, and I was in the town. I was in the shop, and I was looking for some Weetabix as well, because we're very low on Weetabix, and it's the only thing that Glenn will have. He will only eat Weetabix in the morning. And couldn't find it anywhere. I went into the shop, and the place was going nutty with people in the cleaning area. So as I was just walking down, I wasn't just walking down the aisle. I seen this woman taking 3 boxes of latex gloves off, and it was the last 3 boxes. The whole area was cleared, and as she was taking the 3rd one off, another woman jumped at her, pretty much, "Give me those!" And they started fighting in front of me over latex gloves. Now, I don't know if the second woman needed the latex gloves, or she just seen that the person was taking the last of the stock, and at that point she realized that she wanted latex gloves. but it's madness out there. Absolute and utter madness. I mean, I really don't understand it whatsoever. To the point where I'm going to the came home going, I'm going to order a generator. I need a generator. I think I'm going to order just in case, get fuel and get myself, just completely self-sufficient. Because I don't know I'm trying not to be part of the problem, but I see today 400 odd people have died in Italy, which is that's just in one day. It's oof.
Well, I don't think they died in one day.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
380 odd
all
people
in one
today.
day.
Yeah.
In one day.
Nearly every European country is now on lockdown. You can't get in, you can't get out. Yesterday afternoon, was it? All the Jet2 flights to Spain had to turn around mid-air and come back. They weren't letting them in. Would not let them land. Yeah, it's horrendous now.
And I'm still of the same opinion. This is a really bad thing that we will learn to live with over the years, and it's affecting older people, and hopefully they'll get some sort of good medicine against it. But it's hard not to get sucked in when you start to see those numbers for a civilized place like that.
Is Italy really civilized?
If you live with or you're related to someone who's elderly or got medical conditions to start with, then it's a very worrying time. I've got a 72-year-old mum. I've got my wife who's got heart and lung problems. So it's very worrying for me, because it probably won't do much to me, but to them you don't bear thinking about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not allowed to go near my office for the foreseeable future. And it's funny, there's another email coming in tonight that upstairs is not allowed to fraternize with downstairs.
Yeah.
So you have to, it says you have to minimize contact. Ground floor staff have to minimize contact with the first floor staff.
I think that really should be the way it is. That the upstairs should not flirt with the downstairs at all.
Yeah, definitely upstairs, downstairs. So the thing was if you work in my office, you have to sign in. I don't, but you have a sign in, and it's a one thing you put your hand in. That has now been for this foreseeable future, we're not all touching that one thing. And some of the things all seem very sensible, and some of the things seem very crazy. But you know what? I'm going to try and work from home as much as I can. My job requires me to go out on site and see people. But I think the next 2 weeks in the UK is going to be kind of nutty with restrictions. And I think after a couple of weeks, if it doesn't get much better in the UK, or much worse, I think it'll start to even off a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I hope I'm right. But I hope I'm not wrong. So
yeah. I mean, so in the U.S., we're at, I think, 3,000 total confirmed cases, or just shy of 57 deaths. But the weird thing about the U.S. and in our death tolls, Washington State accounts for 40 of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, there was actually one senior care center that accounts for 25. So if you take those numbers out, which, I mean, some people say you can't take them out. Some people, I would say, you know what? Actually, that seems like an anomaly when you compare the rest of the U.S. The death rate is like 0.6%. And
people will argue all this out and everything. But when you actually look at and I know all deaths are crazy. It's
sad.
One death is too many. But when you do look at the stats, which is loads of them out there, of what other things kill people in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the scary thing about this is because it's new and it's unheard of, and there is no real cure at this stage.
I think it's the speed it's spreading as well. I think that's the biggest worry.
Yeah, I think people are also freaked out by the whole, the incubation period. There's no visible physical signs, and then suddenly it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the thing that we talked about through the week there about these test kits and getting test kits about and getting people tested for it. I think it incubates so quickly, 5 to 6 days or something like that now. That what are those test kits? Unless the test kits were actually giving instant results, instant result back.
Well, I don't have the swabbing and then sending it off.
Supposedly, there is one of the pharmaceutical companies out in the U.S. that has developed a kit that can give results back in 8 hours. So that's pretty quick compared to speaking to what we're doing now, which is that it's being sent off to labs, and the labs have to turn around the results. Usually it's a 2 to 3 day turnaround time. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but for me, there's so much focus on them as if the test kits were a cure. The test
They're
kits
not a cure.
Oh, no.
were a number.
It's just to confirm if you've got it or not. Yeah.
So here again, non-expert, my thinking on the test kits. Test kits serve a purpose of helping identify and helping try to slow things down. That's also what all this isolation stuff, in terms of social spacing, things of that nature, the lockdowns. That is an effort to slow the virus down, because the reality is, as long as the hospitals don't get overwhelmed, so their ICU units, their ventilator units, if they don't get overwhelmed, we can handle this virus. But if we have it at mass amounts, then it becomes
I watched a video today. It was on Facebook or something like that. It was this guy who was sitting outside, and he had a half plastic bottle cut, clear bottle with a little hole in the bottom of it, and then a big bucket of water. And then he was explaining how the health service handles this infection. So he started to pour some of the water into the half. You can picture it, and some of it was coming out of the hole. And that signified the people that were sick with this and had to go into hospital, and the little stream coming out of the bottom were the people that had recovered. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he said, look, if we flatten this out and we stretch it out, the little small bottle never quite reaches the top and overflows. And there'll be a constant stream, and then we want to. So what you want to do is keep it almost at the top, so that the health service is going at a capacity, but not over capacity. It's handling it, and people are getting better, and some people falling off or dying, but most people recovering from it. But if it gets flooded over, then it's bad. Now, if we quarantine everybody and you lock yourself out, and we all lock ourselves away for 6 months, it's still there, and we all come out of our shells after 6 months. And the problem hasn't gone. It floods itself into this little bottle and overflows again. So by slowing it down and some people staying inside and slowing the infection rate down, it means that a lot of us are going to get this thing, 60, 70% of us, by the sounds of it. Mm-hmm. It means if we all get it slowly, the doctors and the hospitals can hopefully handle it. As I said earlier on today, my sister-in-law is a midwife in the community. She used to be a midwife in the hospital, and before that, in that same hospital, she worked as a nurse in the A&E, your ER room, and she has been recalled back to that ER room now. So she's been brought off the road back to the ER room, and all of her colleagues, all of their leave has been cancelled. As do some of my policemen friends, their leave has been cancelled, and almost like a preparation, like a war footing.
Yeah.
Be ready for this. So, crazy times.
We have an update twice a week, a bulletin coming out by email updating us on all the different changes. They're changing the procedures daily now. It's crazy.
You had mentioned, sorry, Greg. You had mentioned, Greg or Mark, about the procedure changing. About every person was assumed, if an ambulance went out, every person was assumed to have the virus.
Yeah.
My son Charlie was in getting his haircut in the town yesterday, and when he was coming out, there was an ambulance there, and somebody had fallen from a wheelchair. He said that the people came out of the ambulance and they were in full protective gear.
Yeah.
And she says, that's that policy in force now. So it is assumed that the ambulance goes out if the assumption is made that this person is infected.
It's mainly to prevent cross infection, and also the health of the ambulance crews, because if they all get poorly, who's going to go out to them?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and you know what? I totally forgot what I was going to say. So never mind.
Okay.
Well, I'll
lost in the woods. Yeah. I'll
jump in. There's one thing that it does make you feel. This whole situation is really helpless to a degree. Shell started to have a sore throat on Thursday, and then Friday she's got temperature. She's got all these symptoms. She's on the NHS line. And she's trying to, because they opened up a test centre in Wolverhampton where you could drive through and get tested.
Yeah, we have pods, don't we? Test pods.
Yeah. Well, they shut it on Thursday at 5 p.m, so she couldn't even go to that. And they've just advised her just to stay in and lock herself in for 7 days. My work have advised me not to go into work, and I just feel completely helpless about it. And it's the same with my mum. She's got a partially collapsed lung. She's in her mid-60s. My dad's in his 70s. I can't even go around to them. I normally get a few things.
And my
feels so helpless. And
yeah, I know. Well, man, just look after our elders. My in-laws are in their 70s now, and they've decided they're gonna lock themselves in for a while here, just to because my father-in-law would be quite not ill, but health concerns at the moment. So, and that's a wise thing, and we'll drop food round to them and stuff like that there. But they don't want to infect us, and we want to infect them. And what you could do, Pete, to help would be you would shave your beard off. Because that's an infection holder, so time to get the beard off again. Okay.
No,
so if you really want to help, yeah. And I tried that drive-through thing as well, and every time I went through it, Pete, they just kept on giving me burgers. I don't know. Look, if you have been affected by the coronavirus, we'll finish off here, I think, because nothing's going to begin, because we could talk about it all night long.
Yeah.
If you guys who's listening here have been affected by the coronavirus and you want to reach out, you need somebody to chat to or get your woes over, please contact any of us. Please, really, and we'll support and give you comfort and succor and be there for you, because we're all in this together. And none of our community is affected directly with this, because I don't think any of us know anyone that is directly. Yes, your wife could have, or wife-to-be, Pete, could have this, but
she got a cough, Pete?
Have the flu.
Yeah,
cough. The three things the three things we've been told at work is if you've got a cough, sore throat, and a temperature above 37.8 degrees C, that's when you got self-isolate.
Yeah,
it's 100. I think it's 102 in the U.S. Yeah, is typically what that fever is.
Yeah, she's locked herself in. I've been told not to go to work, and Kira has as well. She can't go, so.
I would say this, Pete. You should carry a can of Lysol around with you, and every time you see your wife to be, just spray her. And
I thought about in the cellar, but she don't like it in there, so she's just.
And sorry, it's funny. I'm going on. I mean, I did watch Outbreak again this week.
That's a great show.
It's the last thing you want to watch.
Dustin Hoffman.
But you know what? See, when you watch the first 10 minutes of that and how that spread, you realize that this has happened here. How no matter what government or what country it is, it only takes one of those tiny little virusy things to get in, and it spreads like mad. And somebody with it in a cinema, like an outbreak, they cough
of a plane. Look how small enclosed the plane is.
In fairness,
Ross's monkey gets you.
Ross's monkey and the disease and outbreak was wildly different than what we're encountering now.
Oh yeah.
So
I think I know where Robin's is coming on about the spread of it, not the.
I know, yeah. but I think this is something that needs to be said, because the media, social media, we have done ourselves no favor.
Oh yeah, the mainstream media and social media is making things 10 times worse.
Yeah, well, this Chinese virus is pretty bad, isn't it? So,
everybody is Wuhan fighting. So. I also think, though, it's funny.
Come on, CNN. Come on, for God's sake. Nobody would ever say that.
No, nobody. Our generation, and let's face it, the Gen Xers, the Gen Zers, the millennials, we've never really faced something like this. But if you really think about it, the ask that's being made right now of the world, pretty much, which is hunker down, brace, that kind of thing. This is reminiscent to me in so many ways of what our grandfathers and grandmothers faced with World War II. A lot of sacrificing, a lot of hunkering down, trying to do what's right.
I know there's deaths going on right now, and I'm going to be clinical and horrible about this here. I think the real fallout of this is in 2 or 3 months' time, and it's when businesses start falling out of the sky. All left, right, and centre.
Well, hospitality businesses are already suffering already, aren't they?
Oh yeah. My customers spend hundreds of thousands of pounds with me on refits and refurbs and new ideas, and those new ideas and ventures just stop. And I know what that was like 10 years ago.
If they can't get customers, then they're not going to be your customers, because it's a massive circle, isn't it? Yeah.
So I take the event that I had this week. So we had there's a large hotel booked. All the rooms were completely booked in that. The hotel beside it was all completely booked. There was a black tie dinner for 300 plus people. There was entertainment there. There was lights, audio, and sound. All the food for the hotel, the cleaners, the laundry, the fuel that it took for the people to drive to that hotel, all of the suits that were bought, it has a massive knock-on effect. That
Without a doubt.
these things. So yes, it's the right thing that we cancel and we lock ourselves away, but the financial effects are going to be felt for this for a long, long time. So
hopefully not a long, long time. Hopefully the rebound will be quick. That's my hope, at least. Obviously, it's going to impact this world or this year, and the world. But I'm with you, Robin. I had work impact. So I was supposed to be at a conference in Chicago. That's scrubbed. No pun intended. I also learned from my work on Friday. They actually made some big changes, personnel changes. We had some layoffs, which personally I felt was a little reactive, but it happened. And we are just all, I think, bracing, which is crazy. But I
mean,
if we could just hold it together until next Monday, let me go to Hawaii. That's all I ask.
I mean, again, I'm sorry, I'm carrying on here, but it would be lovely to say financial institutions like mortgages and rent and all of that, just stop. Everybody just pause. But it just doesn't work that way.
No,
and,
it doesn't.
It might be lovely to say, oh, everybody should, and where people that work for government offices and all of that stuff, that's fine to say stop. But for folk like myself and Greg and Pete, who work for private businesses, really, that aren't funded by government, this is a killer for us. It really is. Yep. So anyway, we'll stick all together and let's hear about some nice things that went on. And I see Mark Wright was fighting with aliens.
I think Greg's going to chip in on this as well. We've been watching the new BBC drama series.
Uplifting stories.
Yeah. More apocalyptic shit. We've been watching War of the Worlds. The new BBC one, starring Gabriel Byrne.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
It's being broadcast by Epics. I don't know if it's
BBC here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's BBC.
It is. I think it's a BBC production as well.
Yeah.
Either way, it's really solid. What I like about it is it's the take of the War of the Worlds story that was infamously, put on by H.G. Wells, but instead of it being focused in on the United States, which is what that story focused in on, this is focusing it in across the pond.
Yeah.
So part of it's in England.
Yeah.
Part of it is in somewhere in France.
Northern France. Yeah.
Just really well done.
Yeah, and they're keeping it quite sort of like. I'm only 3 episodes in here. I don't know how far you're in, Greg, but it's quite.
I just watched the 4th.
Yeah, it's quite suspenseful, and it's clever how they're doing it, and how they start the attack with the initial sort of like wave what they do. So yeah, it's very interesing.
Yeah. So we will keep this spoiler free as much.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
So the alien invasion, so to speak, because we know the story of the War of the Worlds. So it involves aliens coming to Earth and having bad intentions. But the way they go about it is very different than what we saw with the previous stories, especially like the Tom Cruise movie. It had some similarities, but it ultimately was very, very different, which I liked. I thought this felt a little more authentic.
Yeah. You can see happening.
in a weird way.
Yeah.
And the other component to it, which I felt was a little, it didn't seem to match what was hinted at in the story with regards to the aliens themselves. I think I've come back around on that and being okay with it after watching the 4th episode.
Right. Okay.
There's a speed factor. There's a speed factor and being attacked, if you will, that doesn't at one point in the story didn't quite sink. And I know I'm being very cagey about how I'm saying this because I don't want to give anything away. But now that I've seen further into episode 4, I'm like, okay. There's this kind of like a, say, if you will, a first and a second gear, if you will, with certain things that they could be slower or they could be faster. And so it makes a lot more sense to me now. Anyway, it's fantastic. If you haven't been watching War of the Worlds, either on Epix in the U.S. or the BBC channel in England or elsewhere, watch it. It's good. It's really good. And as Polar Knights has indicated, yeah, they made it believable. 100% agree.
Yeah.
This feels very gritty, grounded, and it's a good show so far.
So have they released all the episodes in bulk?
No, it's out weekly. Every Thursday, Pete.
It's Game of Thrones
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Thursday on BBC for us.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's very very well acted. Good production value. It's not one of these stupid over the top blockbusters. It's like Paul and I said. It's very believable.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
one of the
cool.
things that funny to me is that I usually don't like reading subtitles in shows. I'm very much not a fan.
Yeah, because the French bit's all subtitled, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. But
you're American.
No, shut up. Anyway, but in this instance, I like it because it's a mix. So we have the English; it's done in English, and then as we move over to France, they it's a mix. Sometimes they'll speak in English, but sometimes it's in French. And when it's in French, it's in French. It's not. They don't pull that old movie trick of they're talking in their language and then suddenly they're talking in English. When they do talk in English, it's for a particular reason.
I've heard episode 8 is based in Northern Ireland, and they definitely have to subtitle that because of the flares and the films.
Don't look at the flares. Don't look at the flares.
If you ever get the chance to go and see Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, the stage production music thing, it is absolutely fantastic. It's not related to this whatsoever, but if, like me, and you're of that age that grew up with that double album, and I've listened to it thousands of times, the stage show musical thing is utterly fantastic. So anyway,
I think it's on Spotify as well. If you've got a Spotify membership.
Oh yeah. But there's like a stage, like I went to.
Yeah. You mean the actual? I thought you meant the audio version.
Remember when you used to have shows?
Yeah.
Like, when people got together in a stadium.
Way back when.
Yeah.
Live events.
Way back when. Okay. Greg.
Yes.
You've got lots of things you've been getting up to.
Yeah,
War of the Worlds, of course, was there, but you've been after my favorite tin can. You've been working away at that book.
Yes, finally finished up the audio book Expeditionary Force Valkyrie, which I believe is the 9th book in the series. Really fantastic. Shut up. Just shut up. Skippy, you're a pain in my ass. This is an audio book. It's narrated by R.C. Bray, who happens to be one of my and Robin's favorite audio narrators. So really fun sci-fi series that it starts with Earth being impacted by aliens. Again, this is a theme. But it ventures out into the space. So it's great. I don't want to give anything away here because let me just say right now, if you haven't, if you're wanting an audiobook series that has a lot of books to it, that can tide you over for a long time, Expeditionary Force, get it.
Superb.
Yep, fantastic.
Superb.
Yeah,
and funny and irreverent. It's funny, not all just all deep sci-fi and all serious. It's fun. This is funny. It will make you laugh, and there's lots of culture, like pop culture stuff in it as well. That we get as gamers. We get that,
Right.
So.
In fact, they make some gaming references every once in a while. They sprinkle in current pop culture just enough. Just enough to make it seem like it's a believable reference point, but not too much to where it's like, well, that really wouldn't be referenced that much at that stage. But anyway, it is fantastic. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Well,
and then
I've just. Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just finished it, and then I went on to back to. Another RC Bray, Crash Dive, which is I started a while ago again about the submarines in World War II. Very, very good as well. So Crash Dive, and it's in an omnibus, so you buy like one. Again, we're talking about Audible here. Other people are available, but with one token, if you know how Audible works, you get the 3 books, an omnibus thing, which is which is really good. And that crash dive series is out of my comfort zone. It's sort of World War II and submarines instead of spaceships, but again, very well narrated.
I struggled with it at first, Robin. I did. I finished the entire series, but the more I got into it,
all the books. Oh wow! Okay, cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I'm on the second one now. Okay.
Yeah,
it's.
Well, submarines, you don't get a lot of. We've had a couple movies here and there, Hunt for Red October, things of that nature, talk about submarines, but this harkens back to a time when submarines were not the terribly safest ships to be in.
Right.
But anyway, no, it's fantastic. And speaking of submarines, by the way, there is a movie coming out. What's it? It's called The Wolf Den. It's a Tom Hanks movie, which ironic.
His last one.
This is his last one, I think, right before he caught the coronavirus. But he is a captain on a destroyer doing escort duty in the Atlantic, I believe. Captain? Yes. It looks fantastic. So, anyway.
Captain.
Yeah. All right, that's me. I'm done.
Okay, that's it. Kim, do you want to talk about anything?
The only two good things that happened last week is I got my hair cut and we played D&D. Other than that, last week can go die in a fire. So
none of us noticed the hair. Shit. Let's move on.
No, you guys are fine. I don't flip out over shit like that, so don't worry.
You look very, very Kim.
Thank you.
Let's play some video games, Mark.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
Thank you, Fraser's son. Okay, so we always start off with those monthly freebies. We haven't heard enough for Kim. So, Kim, talk to us about your monthly freebies. It is only still, it's the middle of the month, but let's go.
You didn't want to talk about my monthly. Thank God for that. Oh, here we go. Games with gold for March are Batman: The Enemy Within, the complete season, available now through the end of March. Shantae, Half Genie Hero, which is available tomorrow through April 15th. Castlevania, today's the last day to pick it up. So if you're wanting Castlevania, Lords of the Shadow 2, you better get it now. And tomorrow is Sonic Generations, which is available tomorrow through the 31st. Scrolling down, we have PlayStation Plus, which is Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. Your Twitch Prime games for the month are Fury, Epistory Typing Chronicles, Whispers of a Machine, Mugsters, and Bomber Crew. So, yeah. Whispers. Tiny whispers. Stadia Pro for March, we have Grid, SteamWorld Dig 2, and SteamWorld Quest.
Wow, what a SteamWorld Quest!
3 games this time. 3 games.
Well, I've completed with SteamWorld Dig 2, and I finished Grid, but I think this is a new version. I don't know what SteamWorld Quest is. Ooh.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, that's brilliant. Stadia is fantastic, isn't it? Mine is still like new. It really is good. Okay.
It's amazing what happens when you never use it. It stays nice and fresh.
Yeah. All right. Now, we're going to talk about the games that we've played. And this week's really interesting because there's this big bloody game out that Phil, which is really strange, been rattling on about. Come play with me. And it's Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, and then nobody's played with Phil.
I'm sorry, Phil.
All right, Phil. So I need you guys to talk about Call of Duty Warzone, please, because I haven't touched it yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two clever men at the top here.
Well,
PUBG experts.
Yeah. So quick take: PUBG versus Call of Duty Warzone. I still say PUBG has the air of just intensity in the final circle that you don't get in any of these other games. I won a match of Call of Duty Warzone with my nephew and some random. We got down to the final circle. It was kind of crazy. It all happened real fast, and it was done. It's like we won. Okay. It doesn't feel as hard to win. Stop it, Kim.
Sorry.
But I mean, it's an improved version of the battle royale they released with Black Ops 4. Mm-hmm. One of the things I love about Call of Duty Warzone is if you get killed, they do this thing where you get captured, and you're taken to the gulag.
The gulag, yeah.
And yeah, so you go into the gulag, and basically you're in the prison area where they do gunfight. Robin, you're very familiar with this gunfight where you get the random guns. So you're in the gulag up top, looking down into the shower area, and they randomly select 2 people to go down and have a gunfight. The winner of that gunfight can get out and goes back into the map, respawns into the map with a parachute. The loser needs to be basically purchased back into the map by their team. And the way you purchase people back into the map is you collect cash as you're running around getting weapons, that kind of thing. You'll find cash locations. You get cash, and then you'll find there are little shopping areas.
Yeah, buy stations, yeah.
Yeah, buy stations that you can go and basically spend the credits to buy that person back into the game. So it adds a different element to the game that you don't see in these other games in terms of being able to respawn and come back into it in a battle royale. And outside of that, there are vehicles. They don't seem as plentiful as they do in the big battleground map that they do in COD. Trying to think of other things.
It's got a good ping system similar to Apex Legends. Ping system works really well. I've not figured out the inventory yet. I've only had like 2 games of it. But the weapons they're easy to sort of like equip. The ammo pickups and everything picking up. You can press a button to pick up, but if you just walk over it, you automatically pick it up, which is quite handy. It can get quite frantic, fast paced. We had a bit of fun, didn't we, Greg? With your nephew.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It's a solid free to play battle royale game. There is a game called Plunder. I have not played it yet, but my understanding of the way Plunder works is your goal is to get $1 million in cash. And so you pick cash up, and then you have to bank it. If you don't bank it and you get killed, the team that kills you takes half your money.
Oh, that sounds like Brink did that, didn't they? You have to bank.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, so you're banking it, and then once you get to $1 million, then you have to try and extract out.
Mark. Brink. Flip me, that's a pool.
Another difference with this game is there's 150 players drop into this.
Yeah, also true.
Yeah, teams of 3, but they have tweeted out that they are working on teams of 4 and even 5 maybe.
They're expanding it
so
to 200.
Yeah, there's quite a large roadmap for this game, so it's going to be well supported.
Yeah, but again, as battle royales go, I still don't think it holds the intensity, the nervousness that you get with a PUBG Final Circle.
No, I've not got that far yet. I haven't sort of like survived that long, but it's quite good. Yes, I like it. I like the health system and the armor. It's a bit like Battlefield's battle royale system, Battlefield 5, with the chest plates in the armor. So if you get shot at, these obviously deplete, so you have to pick up armor plates and replace them. There's a small animation what takes a little bit of time to get the armor plates in place. Your health regenerates, but you can take stim packs.
Yes.
It is strange seeing Call of Duty still in a big map format. You know, even the big maps in a Call of Duty Modern Warfare game are still relatively small.
Yeah.
And it seems strange seeing a character running 100 yards here without any action.
Yeah.
You know, so
you do have stamina, so you do have, like, if you start running for too long, you will get winded. I don't know how much that really plays into things, but at least that's what I believe I experienced. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. Anyway,
hey, good.
And if you're on buildings, you can jump off a building and deploy your shooter at any time, which is quite handy and cool. Whereas in PUBG, once you've landed on the first sort of like drop, if you jump off a building and it's high up, you ain't gonna survive. So that's a nice touch.
Yeah, no, this one, in fact, we had a moment where we saw a tall building and we knew we had to evac to another area. Yeah. So we're like, we'll get to the top of this building, and then we'll jump off the top and parachute down. Frickin' 14 stories later, it's just going up the staircase, round and round and round. We're just like, when is this going to end? And finally we got to the 14th story and we were able to jump out and parachute down. But yeah, it's good fun. Check it out. I mean, hey, it is free, so there's There's the good news. It is free. It does not feel overly intrusive with any kind of microtransaction stuff. It all seems pretty straightforward and, solid game.
One thing I've not looked into, Greg, you might know this. Is this cross-platform play like the main Call of Duty multiplayer? Do you know?
It is.
It is, right? I thought it would be. Yeah.
In fact, when I played, we played with a PC player.
Right, okay.
So, and amazingly, just for the whole PC side of things, he only had 2 kills, I had 2 kills, and my nephew had 8. So there we go. PC not necessarily dominating.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, Mark, you have been playing and getting into and losing loads of credits in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, more Elite Dangerous, so just ploughing on. I've got my, like I mentioned last week, I was doing my engineering levels. I've got that now, so I'm just trying to sort of like build my bank up a bit to have a bit of a cushion. So while I was doing the prepping for the quiz earlier this evening, I was playing Elite Dangerous while doing the quiz, because sometimes you can do 2 things at once with this game, because there's a lot of travelling. But I got that engrossed in doing the quiz. I didn't see that my ship had dropped out of Super Cruise, where the starport was, and I had my full throttle on my Kim's not here, on my Thrustmaster. So I had full throttle and I didn't notice, and I just looked.
Sorry, hold on just a second, Mark. Yeah. Just a second. Let's enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, go again.
All right. So I had full throttle on my HOTAS on my Thrustmaster.
You guys are assholes.
But yeah, so I just happened to glance at the gaming screen from what I was doing, and my ship was crashed into the starport. It alerted the local authorities, and they were shooting the shit out of me, and I blew up, and it cost me 4 million credits to rebuy my ship back. So thanks to tonight's quiz, it cost me 4 million Elite Dangerous credits.
Wow.
But
this is, Mark?
That's about it.
The world's tiniest violin.
Right?
The sacrifices I make for you guys. So the other game I've played this week.
Sorry. So what sacrifices have you made? Like
losing 4 million credits. How long it takes to earn that?
Not a clue.
And not to mention, I was doing passenger runs, and not to mention my poor passengers, and one of them was going to give me 1.7 million credits for taking him to his station, which I crashed into. They're all dead now. Poor bastards.
Did you screen for coronavirus?
Well, maybe if you'd have paid better attention.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right.
So.
All right.
I also downloaded on the PUSA 4 a demo, which a lot of fanboys are going crazy over, the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo.
You've never played Final Fantasy before, like me, so...
Right, well, I've played this on the PS1 years ago, very briefly, and I couldn't get into it.
Right.
But I've I've downloaded it, and I tried to play it. Graphically, absolutely stunning, amazing. Sounds really good. And I got 2 minutes into it, and I got pestered by Greg saying, "Come on, Warzone, you got to play Warzone with us." So I've not really played much. I've done the beginning intro where you're on a train, and I've killed a few guards. It's real-time combat. It's not turn-based, grid-based combat like in the original. The combat's pretty good. I like the combat. Graphically, it's amazing. Voice acting's pretty good for a Japanese dubbed game. So yeah, that's all I can say really until I play a bit more. But yeah, if you've got a PlayStation 4, it's well worth a download for this demo. It's very well put together. Yes.
Mark, look, I was trying to do you a solid. This is an intervention that was happening. That's why I pulled you into playing Warzone to protect you.
From what?
Oh, wow.
From
it does look very pretty.
It is. It's amazing.
The Final Fantasy. It's a nasty virus. It affects a lot of people.
I've actually
Next step,
I've downloaded
anime bacteria.
Oh no, I won't be doing anime. No, I've got downloaded Final Fantasy 15 as well from Game Pass. I'm looking forward to trying that. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I didn't start that.
And sorry, is this turn-based combat in this one?
No, it's real time. Well? It's hack and slash type real time combat. You can pause it to do spells and stuff. I've not figured that bit out yet because as you're hitting them, you're building up different meters. I don't know the full name of it all yet. Duke will probably be cursing me and swearing at his computer right now or his listening device because Duke is a massive fan of this. So if you want a better explanation, I hate to say this, but
No,
listen
don't
to...
say it. Don't say it.
Right,
Don't
okay.
say it. Just
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Come on. He'll talk down to you.
Yeah.
Come on, don't.
But yeah, I'm liking it so far.
Okay.
As a non-Final Fantasy fanboy, it's good. I like it. Yeah, so far. So, yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. And Greg, you've been at Batman. And
Yes,
me, Batman
yeah.
with Robin.
Yeah, Batman: The Enemy Within. Hey, happy to say this is actually a much better game than the previous Batman Telltale game.
This is Telltale.
Wow,
okay?
really?
Yeah. This is the latest edition. This is it's not got nearly the bug issues. It's running smoothly on the X. I'm not getting the hitchiness that I saw in the previous one. I'm also not having the visual bugs like smoke being blocks coming up. So, yeah, really pleased with it. Loving the story so far. It's getting into a lot more of the traditional Batman villains. Yes, Batman is a detective with a lot of money and gadgets. Absolutely correct. Not a quote-unquote superhero. He's just a hero. How's that for politically correct? Anyway, but Batman: The Enemy Within. I really enjoying it. Liking the story. So I would say if you enjoyed Batman, the Telltale series, even with its issues, or had hoped to play that game and not have all the glitches, this is going to give you that experience. And you don't have had to play the first one. It gives you a little recap prior to, and then it gets you into the game. So
I don't know. Batman for me is just the perfect example of white privilege. So.
Oh, shut your face.
Okay.
God.
Okay, what is the Bleeding Edge, Beta?
Yeah. So Bleeding Edge, this is the game that is being made by Ninja Theory. It is it's kind of like Overwatch. That's the best way to explain it. It's Overwatch.
It's one of those Battle Arena one type games, isn't it?
Yeah, Battle Arena kind of. This is more hack and slash, though. Everybody has hack and slash weapons. They don't have really guns, per se.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I played through the demo. It plays well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my kind of game. I'm not into that type of game, so I just am not getting on with it. So, But visually, it looks great. The character designs are all really unique. Very... I can't even call it steampunk. It's future... almost Mad Max like
cyberpunk.
Like, is this it? Is this it?
Yeah,
this is online.
Yeah, that's it. Bleeding Edge on the screen. Visually,
it looks like
great.
Plants vs Zombies.
No.
The shooter, the third person shooter,
Yeah.
Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just
Okay.
have to say no. It no.
that sort of cartoony style.
Very
to it,
different. Yeah. Anyway, so
okay, fair enough.
I mean, visually, I like it. I think it is going to deliver on that type of game very well. So if you like, the battle arenas, more of a physical combat style as opposed to straight up shooting, this is what's going to be your jam.
Let's get physical.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, you're still rattling away with Witcher 3.
I am indeed. I'm getting ready for the last. I think it's the last big battle, and I decided to do a few side quests. I am now the champion of champions, so there's that. Yeah. Aside from that, that's about it because pretty much all my side quests have to do with Gwent or horse races. So.
And do you know what we say about Gwent? 1,
Fuck
2,
Gwent.
3.
Fuck Gwent.
Yep. Yeah.
You guys
so,
are so wrong. Like Gwent.
I
Chirps.
love Gwent.
Out of all the card games,
bad at
it's bearable. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm just bad
Okay.
at it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So.
All right, my time has been unbelievably limited before we get to the guy who's been very, very quiet, but he won't be very shortly. This afternoon, I played another chapter through A Plague Tale: Innocence, which is perfectly topical right now.
Yes.
Because I've got a plague. This case is the rats, so I've met the rats now. I love the characters. I love the setting. I quite enjoying the story so far. And I'm really hoping that the mechanic that I've received in this chapter is not what the whole game is hung on, because I think it's fun now, but it might be pretty friggin' boring a wee bit further on down the line. But if the story is good enough, great. But I do love the characters and the sort of French accents and that sort of thing. It's a very pretty game. Not the most beautiful game ever, but it looks good. But it's very original with the young girl and her little brother. So yeah, Plague Tale, and again, it's on Game Pass. So how could I be going wrong? Really.
You know what, Robin? I appreciate the fact that you can appreciate a good story despite maybe mechanics not necessarily being the greatest in a game.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a sign of somebody that has age, wisdom, taste. Absolutely. Yeah.
And not some sort of friggin' born in the 80s sort of thing. Is that what it was? It was like he must have been born in the 80s. Some stupid kid that doesn't understand the effort that people put into games.
Right. I mean, and
I don't
Robin,
think he's understanding. I don't think he's getting what you mean in here.
No, not at all. But Robin, like when you wear a blue shirt, it's because you're actually wearing a blue shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So highlighted here, what we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about one of the best RPGs ever to come to console.
Oh, wait. I think we need to also put in a disclaimer about the opinions held by Pete Chin and Kim Woods are not held by the Pussy Podcast and the gaming community at large, and that their opinions, should they seem bad, are strictly their opinions, and we hold no responsibility to them, and their continued employment is in question.
Fuck you, small talk. Right.
Hang on. Right. Before we start.
Yep.
Round one. Fight.
So, Pete, we listened to the podcast last week, and we heard you talking about something that is dear to your hearts. You might as well have insulted our grandmother, really and truly, because our grandmother, although she still gets around, she still has all her faculties. She's still a very clever person, but she's a bit janky here and there. And we love her dearly. And you insulted our grandmother to the point where, do you know what? We're just going to cancel you. Cancel, Pete. You're fired. Get off. Cancel him now. Pete, I don't want to rehash everything you said about Mass Effect last week.
No,
but
no, I can't remember.
Touch a bit of it.
There are a lot of F words in it.
Yeah.
So
you have you changed your mind?
Can I start off from a different perspective here? Then let's talk about 2.
I don't know. You're on very fucking thin ice.
Yeah, I know, but I might be able to stick. Right, Mark.
Yeah.
Is that it? The sound effects.
Yeah. You said Mass Effect 2, so I've got to do 2.
Oh, sorry. Well, I am going to go back to 1. Right, so Mass Effect 2, I've played about an hour and a half of it, and it actually starts off really good. You got a tutorial. It shows you how to.
I said you were better, didn't I?
Yeah. I like it. I like the intro for 2. I think it's a lot more user friendly. I think. Do you know what? Right, talking about number 1, I got to
Peggle. You can fucking play Peggle from now on.
I got to the very last part of number 1. I think you're on top of like a ship. You're running around the top of the ship, and you have to work your way down to fight Garen. And
Saren.
Yeah, whatever his name was. He was shit anyway. And
oh my god.
Do you know the way he died? Oh, it's like so crap.
All right, Pete, let's focus here. Focus.
Okay. All right, sorry. So, I only worked out how to change my main weapon on that part.
Okay. Whose fucking fault is this? Is it the developer's fault, or is it your fault for not going into the control scheme to figure out what the setting is to change weapons?
I asked last week, and nobody kind of like knew.
Well, it's because this game is from like eons ago, for the record.
And I was scared to go into the controls because it's so confusing anyway how to work out, and I only worked it out at that point. I was like, oh shit, I've got a sniper rifle, and that's got like 2 bullets, and you shoot one, and your gun's nearly overheated. So by the time you shot the second, your gun has definitely overheated, and you're waiting for another 15 seconds for it to calm down. It's cack.
Disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Pete and his way of going about this game.
Well, I will say this. If I went through an entire game not realizing I could change out my gun and have different weapons, upgrade it, and actually make a difference in the game, then yeah, I probably would be disappointed in the game as well. In fairness to Pete.
I beat the game with a pistol.
Pete, fair play to you. You played Mass Effect 1.
Yes.
I was in the same position as you. I came in to the console generations late. So I came through halfway through the 360 generation, and I was told to go and play this, and I was going to start with 2, and I was told, no, stick out 1 because it'll give you a grounding for the rest of the series. And I did, and it was difficult, but after I got through about halfway, I just loved it. It was wonderful, and I looked at the controls, and I could upgrade stuff. Now, where you come into Mass Effect 2 is a lot of that stuff is pared back, so there's not as much of the RPG stats and stuff. It's more action adventure game than full RPG, and you get this one you get to beat up a reporter.
Yeah, you have the option to smack her. Yeah. Well, you just have an option to rebel against a reporter, and you click it, and it fucking punches, and you don't expect it. It's really funny. Yeah. Sorry, Pete, I've just spoiled that for you.
But it's fabulous, and the visuals in 2 are fabulous, and the soundtrack is fabulous, and the way you build your team, and the suicide mission track, the music is towards the end of it is just awesome. I wish I was you, Pete. No. I wish I.
You just wish you was playing Mass Effect 2 for the first time again.
Yes, that's it. Yes. That's the one.
That's the one. But I do like the start of 2 from what I've played so far. The one thing that I was really dreading, that there was going to be an elevator.
I told you there isn't in this.
I know, but I just didn't believe you. I mean,
I said to him in a text, I said, "Trust me, Pete," and he went, "I trusted you with Mass Effect 1."
Yeah. But in fact, you do go in an elevator in one of the cutscenes, and I was like,
I think they actually take the piss out of themselves with that, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, that was actually a self-piss take.
Yeah.
Because I think Dun Shepard commented on something, or it mentioned something about the stupid elevator music. Yeah. I know there's a bit of an in-joke with it.
So you're playing as Shepard, okay? Did you make your own character? Because I made the mistake in Mass Effect 2 of making my character look as much like me as possible, but I ended up with a really friggin' ugly sort of I know I am, but it was like a Terminator sort of looked, Arnold Schwarzenegger look, which it just didn't look right at all. And I remember in 3 I went back to default Shepard. Did you customize your character? Did you just friggin' fast forward through it as well?
No, I didn't fast forward. I've took my time with 2. I've gave it a different. I've turned it on like it's a completely different game. I've not gone, oh, this is going to be the same old stuff. I've treated it as a different thing altogether, and I'm just going to give it its time. I've not skipped through any of the story yet by pressing X. I don't even know if that works now. I don't know. But I found even in number 1, I was doing that all the way through, even to the end. I just had enough. I was done. And this one, I've given it its time, and I'm enjoying it so far. But I'm only an hour and a half in.
Okay, so there are lots of great opportunities for alien sex in Mass Effect 2.
Great opportunities or just opportunities?
Just great opportunities, great opportunities. It's funny.
At our age, you grab it all you can.
Sorry, exactly. Polar Knights is saying that it's bored in Mass Effect. It's like reading a cookbook when you're hungry. It doesn't do anything for you. So, yeah, but there's still a sense of achievement when you get the blue girl past a certain point. And whatever. Or later games. Okay, the dirty bit with the tattoos.
Rob, anyway, actually, there's a sense of achievement and letdown all in the same breath. And in the dating life that I've experienced that before, where you go on the date, you've got the build up, you've hit the home run, and once you get there, it's like, that wasn't all that great.
Oh my goodness, she when I'm up close to her, she smells of beef crisps. Oh, yeah.
It's
from Mass Effect.
it's a blue chicken Mass Effect 2, isn't it? Can't remember the name.
Well, that's one of them. There's multiple options.
Was it Mass Effect 3? I think.
Just...
Mass Effect 3, I think, is you do it in the airlock, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. You do it in zero G in the airlock.
But Mass Effect 2 is all about the posh bird that looks like, speaking of cookbooks.
Oh, Miranda with a big ass.
Miranda. Nigella Lawson. Yeah. She looks a bit like Nigella Lawson. So so there's a bit of a cookbook thing in there. So yes, and it does. It makes you feel like you're 14 again. You're right.
I think we should let Pete have his due.
Pete, go on. Talk about the
talking over you, Pete. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it.
I know. Pete, continue on.
You managed to get it all out last week, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, here we go. Shut up, a lot of you. Anyway.
No interruptions last week, were there?
No.
Go on, Pete. Pete.
Got my space last week, and you're invading it.
Let's go, Pete. Come on, get on. Come on.
I just wanted to answer the question that Robin asked. I have created my own character now. It's a female character that looks like Shell.
Wow.
Can I just ask? Is she ginger?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Pete, that's gonna be weird. Are you gonna have a lesbian relationship with your fiance and an alien character? Is that what you're gonna do?
Oh,
that's gonna be really friggin' weird.
Is it for me? Oh, this is gonna be great.
Hey, Shell, look, you're
Pete
shagging this alien bint. Yeah.
Pete's actually already put the order into Amazon for some N7 outfits. Yeah.
Shell Facebook friended me today. I'm gonna let her know what you're really like.
Oh yeah, she said that actually. She sent you a friend request. She says, "I hope you don't mind." I says, "Well, you'll be unfriending him after a week when you work out."
That is the truth.
But I'm enjoying what I've played so far in Mass Effect 2. I've not given it the treatment as I have one. One was just dreadful. Even that last boss, what's his name? Saccharin.
I mean, you played an entire game not realizing you could switch weapons.
I'm gonna slap you.
Anyway, I just didn't like the way, how he morphed into that robot type thing, or that half mutated skeleton with a bit of red stuff sticking out of him, and he ended up crawling around everywhere like a bit of a leech, and he was jumping over all the walls, and he was so fast you couldn't even catch the guy. It was just like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this guy's obviously he's gonna get blasted to shit in the end. It's just a matter of when you can catch him, and it was awful boss wave. That was terrible.
Look, the boss for this is the same boss that Quantum Break had at the end of it too. Same idea. It's tough, but only mature adult gamers who have skills can appreciate it. And beat it
not Robin.
without mourning
Obviously.
like a wee bitch.
All right.
Banded ourselves mature gamers.
Pete, I'm happy to say, based on the evidence you have presented today, I do not believe we have to fire you. Okay. I think we can keep you on, especially given the fact that, one, I did not realize you played the entirety of Mass Effect 1, not realizing you could play with multiple weapons.
Hey, let me defend myself there, right? I'm gonna jump over you.
I don't think there's defense.
No. So all of the buttons on my Xbox controller, right? I pressed every single one at a time, just to see if, like on Call of Duty or something, like you press Y and you change your weapon. And right. I thought, right, I just need to press the button and it would just change the loadout. But no. So you had to hold LB, and that's what I didn't do. All I did was just press it, and it didn't come up with the thing on the screen. So that was my problem. And yeah, I should have looked at the controls, but I didn't.
Yes, Pete, we're giving you a bye ball.
I know. I'm trying to
Mass Effect 1. It is a bit. It is. We agree. Mass Effect 1 is a little clunky. Like our granny, we love her. Okay. Okay. A bit dry around the bottom bits. A bit clunky. We love her greatly. Okay. It could do with a revamp and some lubrication to get it going. But if you say the same thing about 2, you're for it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sure, this is a
Blankety
show
Blank
that
Quiz.
when you guys are not on.
It's quiz
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, let's quiz, please.
Moving on.
Oh,
I
Kim's
think
dying.
I've done it, Kim. Okay, let's go with the quiz.
Oh my God, lube your grandma. Jesus Christ.
Right, Mark, let's go.
Right, so there's no cams on this one, sorry, because there's 5 of us. But yeah, this is the not stolen from the BBC Blankety Blank Quiz. So I'm going to give you a popular video game character and a phrase that character has said, and I'm going to blank out one of the words, and you just have to tell me via WhatsApp what that word is. Okay? So, Alright, let me get number 1 up. Right, so this is one of Greg's favourite characters. Yeah, testing. Yeah, cunt. Yeah, that's working. Right, so this is John 117 from Halo 3, and he says, "Blank me when you need me. Blank me when you need me." Is that A, wake, B, ring, C, call, or D, slap? Wake me when you need me. Ring me when you need me, call me when you need me, slap me when you need me. So I've got answers from Kim, Greg, and Robin. We just need Pete, and there we go. Right, so Peter said call. Robin has put wake. Greg has put wake, and Kim has put wake.
I'll put. I did put some other stuff too.
And the answer is wake. Yeah, everyone is correct apart from Pete, because Pete doesn't like Halo. So deserves to lose that.
Halo, but I knew what it was.
I'm not playing.
Friggin' medic. Jesus Christ, Pete, how are you on this podcast?
Don't worry, Pete. I don't like Halo either.
Greg,
so
can
there
you
go.
keep score, please?
I can.
All right,
I
thank you.
can do that.
Yeah.
-8 for Pete.
I think I'm on this podcast just for someone to pick on.
Well,
Right.
Pete, I'm glad you finally realized that.
See?
Your second question. Hang on, I'm missing something here. There we go.
Oh.
Right, your second question is from Professor Layton, from the game Professor Layton and the Curious Village. And he said, every blank has an answer. Every blank has an answer. So is that A, question, B, puzzle, C, dilemma, or D, smart ass? Question, puzzle, dilemma, or smart ass. Every blank has an answer. And I've got an answer from Kim, and Pete, and Greg, and Robin. I thought everyone would get this straight away, but obviously not. So we've got varying different answers here. Robin's put question, Greg has put puzzle, Pete has put smart ass, and Kim has put puzzle. And obviously Greg and Kim know what they're talking about, because it is, of course, puzzle. Because it is a puzzle game on the DS.
It's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game.
But I like smart ass better.
Yeah.
Better.
I thought that was quite an easy one to throw in there, but obviously 2 people aren't that smart. So, yeah, well
There you
done,
go.
Kim and Greg. Right, your last one is, and this is a short and brief one, from Navi. I think that's how I pronounce it. I don't know, I've never played it. Don't really play shit like this. Sorry, Nintendo fans. From The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And he shouted, "Hey, blank! Hey, blank!" So is that, "Hey, you! Hey, help! Hey, shithead!" Or, "Hey, listen!" You, help, shithead, or listen. I've got an answer from Pete and Kim. It's not that
What are the
difficult.
answers again?
You, help, shithead, or listen. Hey, you. Hey, help. Hey, shithead. Hey, listen. Right, so Greg has put help.
Japanese shit, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is Japanese shit. And Robin has put help. Pete has put help. And Kim has put hey, you. Right.
I think it's. I think
Jesus.
listen, as noted, is probably the right one, but I have no clue.
You would be correct if you'd have said that, Greg, because you are all wrong. It is hey, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done to none of you for getting that right.
I should
Hey, I
have
got two.
known.
I don't care.
I should have known because Mark put the ridiculous answer third.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's normally
good answer
last.
fourth. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So tell me, Mark, what does that do to the OCBB leaderboard?
I don't know. Has Greg updated them?
It has been updated.
Right. So we have Kim in the lead with 13 points.
Again?
Last week's 3 out of 3 made a storm in the lead. Greg is in joint second with Bobbins with 10 points. And Pete is, well, holding up the rear with 2 points.
Pete.
Yeah.
Heard that about you, Pete.
But we still love him.
Very good. That's good. I always enjoy those.
Good fun.
That's
Thank you,
excellent.
Mark.
Thank you. Okay, time for some news.
Oh, that's me.
Yep, it is.
Here is the fucking news.
The world has been cancelled. My God, could you believe it? In all the years we've been doing this, one of the things we always look forward to, more than Kim's calendar turning every month, is E3. And E3 is officially cancelled.
Sad.
So,
Yeah.
this is virus stuff. You can understand it. And such a strange thing. I'll just go through some of the stuff that's there. You know, the E3 is cancelled. EA has suspended its live esports. EGX Raised in the UK has been cancelled. Several of the other smaller shows in around the UK have been cancelled as well. It's kind of nutballs. And in such a big year for both Sony and PlayStation and Stadia, where they're launching brand new consoles this year. I don't know, how will this affect that? How will this several questions, guys. How will it affect the launch? Will they launch or will they delay? Good excuse to delay. How will this affect gaming companies? And how will this affect the media? So, guys, discuss.
I mean, my personal thing is I don't think we see delays in the consoles.
No.
Unless supply chains truly get impacted, but I think that issue is actually being solved.
I think the Xbox is well in production because a few certain people in the Microsoft company have already got them and are using them right now. So I think
Was there some mention though about parts being a lot more expensive?
Yeah,
And
but that's on the
gonna
PlayStation. That's because of the spec of it. It's not down to this virus. They said that before the virus kicked off, didn't they?
The spec we still don't know.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Sony's playing everything very close to the vest. Now, mass production for these consoles, typically speaking, doesn't start until July, August timeframe. So, in terms of the supply chain, in terms of that impact, likely that will be resolved by then. Now, there could be backlogs, so the manufacturers that they're getting the consoles from could still have problems. But I think at least the vibe I get from Microsoft is they are going forward. This is going to launch this year. Well, hello there.
Hello. I'm on the friggin' library.
Sorry about that.
And if one side, Sony or Microsoft, if they get that console out this year and the other ones don't, it's going to give them a massive advantage. Because that's one of the reasons why the 360 took off more than the PS3, because of the time advantage that the Xbox had. So, yeah, it'll be pretty bad news for the whichever side doesn't get it out this year.
I mean, I think Sony could survive a delay, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, because of the player base on the PS4, yeah.
They've got a player base. They've got a pretty loyal player base, even back to the PS3.
Well, look at the player base you had on PS2 compared to Xbox One. That didn't help them out with PS3, though, did it?
Well, it did. If you think about it, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 really ended up at the end of the generation about tied.
It took 8 years, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more about the extra services, though, like Game Pass. I think that's, you know, if they extend that.
I think if Xbox comes out this year and it gets its foot under the table and the PlayStation 4 or Power Pro users start to hear about these fantastic new titles, that these new studios that Microsoft have bought, all of those start to come to fruition, I think it'll be very hard to claw that back again.
Yeah, I do.
But as far as E3 is concerned and the launch of these consoles, because of the prevalence of the internet do you think about Joe Blogs in the street, wee Jimmy or wee Julie, who gets her mommy and daddy to buy the console? They don't watch E3.
No.
They hear about bits and pieces, snippets on Scene Around 6 or News Round or whatever it is.
And they'll just see a massive trailers on YouTube, and that'll be about it.
It's for us. So if Xbox decide to do and PlayStation decide to do a closed doors launch of this, we'll all see that on the internet just as much as we see.
They've already said they're doing like a Nintendo Direct type thing where they're doing it online, an online presentation. They've already said they're doing that, haven't they?
Now, sadly, we've seen some of those types of things, especially the ones I've seen of the Microsoft being pretty hammy, pretty tacky, pretty well too acted out. The live audience thing always works very, very well. But E3 had turned into more of a Joe Blogs come along, like EGX event last year. And we may have actually seen the very, very last E3.
Well, the ESA has said that they do plan to have E3 come back in 2021. We'll see. Obviously, too hard to tell right now. I think what this is going to do, it's going to force the ESA to turn E3 into something more akin to a PAX or an EGX. I don't think that they're going to be able to come back into the same model that they had with E3 before. But also, it's worth noting that E3 and the ESA itself, is, it's an advocacy group that's the members of it that comprise ESA are all the video game companies, basically. The ESA, in a sense, kind of is a branch to, if you will, the government, to kind of be kind of the voice of the industry and be kind of the front person also for government and government oversight. And so companies like Microsoft, companies like Nintendo, they support the ESA, even though they're not necessarily in the show in person. They still are needed by the ESA to exist. So it's going to be a real interesting thing to see how this all transpires, because if E3 goes away, the ESA is going to have to do something to replace that monetary influx, because they survive because of E3, so to speak.
Very interesting. It's interesting times. And I'm sure there's lots of people there that weren't looking forward to E3. I know we talked about at some stage, possibly next year or the year after, coming out to E3 from the UK, so that hopefully it does come back together. And I know it's become more of a fan thing, because it was a business thing, a place where they placed the orders for Christmas and all of that sort of stuff. So that's become more like EGX. And I'm sure there's people there that were relying on the work. Again, it's a spin-off effect. The guys that sell the sands and all that sort of stuff. So, pretty poor.
So real quickly, one other thing with regards to the consoles and the impact of all of this. We have not heard from Stadia, right? We have not heard from their free version. My my belief at this point is Google is holding off on launching that free version of Stadia, and they're planning to do it for holiday. I think they're going to target directly, especially if we see console shortages. Talk about the prime time for Stadia to be able to actually make a big resplash. Saying, hey, you get your console for free. Just buy your games in our store, and you can play your games on our virtual console in the cloud, and you don't have to worry about shortages. Everybody can get one. That would be the smartest play they could make at this point.
Yeah. I still think it's a step too far for normal mom and pop that they're relying on buying it for wee Jimmy. Wee Jimmy understands a box, and mommy and daddy understand a box under the TV. Yeah. Do they understand that little thing? I don't know.
I wouldn't buy into that.
Yeah. So look, disappointed. We love E3 as a podcast group and as a little community. We generally all watch it live together, and we'll miss that this year. So
yes, we will.
Yep. Yeah, indeed.
But then again, there will be live streams that we'll tune into, so we'll see. Okay, we talked about Call of Duty Warzone, and I got 15 million players in 4 days. Now, as a freebie, that's lovely. It's free to play, and of course, it's a fantastic mode. It's one of the best-selling games of all time, and that's more than double the 6 million players who started playing it in the first 24 hours. So, within 4 days, it was like a virus and it spread. So,
Everything comes back to it.
That's great. I take it they are monetizing it in a way you buy skins or packs like Fortnite and stuff like that.
There's a battle pass and that. Yeah,
there's a battle pass, but the other interesting thing they've done is obviously if you own the game, it's like a 20 gig download. If you don't own the game, it's actually like a 97 gig download because they get you to download the entire game. Obviously, they're trying to entice you further to just unlock by purchasing the main game.
But I know you're being a bit cynical there, Greg. It's obviously using all the Modern Warfare assets
I'm not being
and
cynical at all. I think it's their genius Trojan horse plan.
Yeah, but they've got to download all the assets and everything. We've already got them, so that's why it's only a 20 gig download.
Yeah, but I would have to think, minus the story bit. That story bit takes a big chunk of that. That download. So,
like Apex Legends is like 60 gig.
Okay.
I think
that's not 100 gig.
Look at PUBG. PUBG, the updates are 34 gig.
Yeah.
Oh, conspiracy theories. Oh, Greg, what's going on?
Hey. But that is what it is. It is absolutely, they are making you download the entire game. You only have access to the free version.
Yeah.
And then you can unlock the main game. But
it
is what it is.
Straight after my first ever game of it, I was confronted with you've unlocked all these if you buy the battle pass. And it was coming up with all these things to buy with a battle pass, and you get all these skins unlocked and all these weapon skins and all this other stuff. So they do push it on you quite heavily, but that's how they make the money.
You know what, we're all used to that now.
But you've got a choice. You You can buy it, you don't have to buy it. They're not making you buy it.
As long as the stuff on sale is cosmetic, ultimately I think we've come to be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's when it's actual game changing.
Yeah.
You're getting loadouts that make your gun more powerful that you can purchase. That is when it unbalances the game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can just ignore all those pop-up screens that come to the end if you don't want to buy the battle pass. As I say, it's just like RedTube. We've got used to that sort of stuff. Dreams creators can apply to sell their work beyond the PlayStation 4. Now, Dreams is this game-making program that you can pretty much do anything with. It's a bit awkward to control with the controller, but if you're a person that can manipulate and be creative and be artistic, you can do pretty much anything in this game development tool. I think for people like us who are as thick as chump and couldn't draw our way out of a paper bag, where the joy of Dreams for us is playing other people's creations. But it's nice now that they've launched this beta evaluation program, which will let the creators sell their work away from PlayStation, they can do their own things. So that's kind of cool.
I really didn't have much interest in this until a few days ago when I heard, and Kim's going to like this, someone has remade Simpsons Hit and Run verbatim in Dreams.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I thought you'd like that, Kim. So if you've got Dreams on PS4, you can download someone's creation of Simpsons Hit and Run. And I am so tempted to do that because I love that game on the old Xbox One.
Right?
Yeah. I think it was one of my favourite games on the Xbox One, apart from obviously Halo. Pete, Halo.
Halo sucks.
He's just been quiet this whole time.
Actually, just over here. Funny.
What's he doing now?
Oh dear.
Has he got Simpsons Hit and Run?
He does.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I've got it on original Xbox. It never came backward compatible, bastards.
I got it on PlayStation.
You got it on PlayStation 2, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
And funny, on display, I have on display all the time.
There it is.
I've got the original Xbox version, but it never became backward compatible, and I was stupid enough to sell my original Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah, I traded it in to get a 360.
Yeah, so Dreams is one of those fantastic things, like the little puppet thing. It's like what would they call little puppets? The little
Little Big Planet. Big Planet, yeah.
Which was limited enough, and they had Call of Duty stuff and all there. But kind of much you can do everything from Dreams, from a text adventure game to an action game. So yeah, cool. Good for them. Okay, I don't really understand this. Facebook joins into hosting a virtual GDC. for Oculus VR titles, similar to what Microsoft will do?
Yeah, so Facebook is going to hold a virtual GDC event. So instead of GDC, of course, got canceled. So the week of March 16th through the 19th, similar to what Microsoft is doing, they're going to be holding virtual conference. So their GDC panels will be online for people to log in and view.
Oh.
So there you go.
Interesting.
Oculus VR virtual console or conference.
Epic has bought the company behind God of War's facial animations. Fortnite developer Epic Games has acquired a company called Cubic Motion. While it's not a household name, you've almost certainly seen the company's tech work if you've played games like God of War and Marvel's Spider-Man. They create tools that allow developers like Sony's Santa Monica studio to capture and animate human faces realistically. So Epic has bought that company. Could you imagine 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that was a thing? I'm going to have a company that does facial animations in video games.
Hey, not just in video games. Think about like what we've seen in Star Wars, where they're actually taking characters that have, they're no longer alive.
Yeah.
They're being able to put them into these movies to help keep that, the story flow, if you will. It's amazing. And while, yes, not perfect, it's pretty good. I mean, I look at the last Star Wars movie, Princess Leia. It was hard to really tell she was fake versus not fake. I think the General Grand what the heck his name was, the previous one. He looked a little less. Yeah. But anyway, so this technology though, it's huge. Epic Games buying that just, it's another tool as part of their game engine.
See, I've still never made up my mind whether I like the Princess Leia in the gold bikini more than the original white sort of see-through-ish sort of uniform thing she wore, which in the first movie. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm at a. I wish a company like this could really help me. Yeah. Anyway, Lego's new sets put Super Mario Maker in the real world. By the way, Nintendo Land coming to Universal Studios. Yeah, that'll be cool in a couple of years' time in both Los Angeles and Florida.
By the way,
the aptly named,
I was gonna say these look awesome.
Mm-hmm, they do.
The aptly named Lego Super Mario will come with chunky version of the plumber, one that's larger than a standard Lego minifigure, with a couple of switches on his back and some digital displays that represent his eyes, mouth, penis and chest area just above his blue overalls. You'll then be able to guide and play through classic levels from the Mushroom Kingdom that features Goombas, piranha plants, prostitutes and question blocks. Somehow, Mario will know what they are and react accordingly when you mock, jump and stomp on them sarcastically.
Wait a minute, is he stomping on the prostitutes or mock jumping them? I'm confused.
I don't know. But I'm most disappointed that Mark has not taken the link I gave him to put the video of this up.
I would love to see the video of that.
I can't now, it's on a different computer.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Not engaging.
Blacking again.
Okay, the last thing that I want to touch on, like Mark Fields had hosting once again, Horizon Zero Dawn by Guerrilla Games is coming to PC. So it's coming later on this year in the summertime, and Sony fanboys are losing their absolute marbles. I seen one video of a guy destroying his PC over the head of this. This is absolute
I'm sorry.
balls. I'm sorry, but it's trying to say that yes, Xbox have already diluted their portfolio. All this will do is kill the PlayStation brand. Maybe it will. I don't know. But you know what? If I had a really good game like Guerrilla Games, and I'd want people all around the world to play it.
Yep. Well, that's it. I mean,
For goodness sake. And it's going to be a small minority of people on PC play this anyway. So what's the harm in this? It's 2 years old now, at least. For goodness sake, people.
Well, the thing that I think also gamers lose sight of is that this likely is Sony's way of, again, call it conspiracy theory if you want, but my bet would be they're launching this out. They want PC players to play this because PlayStation 5, they're going to announce Horizon Zero Dawn 2 available on PlayStation 5. So this is actually good. And of course, if they get more money for Horizon Zero Dawn, that means they get more money to make more games. So the worshiping the plastic box and being hell-bent around it is, those days are done. We're past this now, people. You got to move forward.
Stadia. No?
Well, yeah, and also all these Nintendo fanboys who've sort of like been taking the mick out of most Xbox games being on PC as well. You can only play this on PlayStation. They're having to eat their own words now, aren't they? Because a lot of PlayStation titles are coming to PC. Because Detroit Become Human's already on PC. There's a few more coming that way.
Death Stranding, isn't it coming on PC?
Yes, very soon. Yeah, people should have a choice. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, last thing we don't touch on, and it comes back to our virus, our wonderful COVID-19. Now, if you remember, 10 or 15 years ago, if you're as old as that, there was this thing that you could help with your computer to have to help discover aliens, the SETI program or whatever it was called. And while your computer was sort of in screensaver mode, you shared your processor to help crunch data. Anyway, the VG Hub guys have discovered this thing called Folding at Home, and it allows your computer to do something, we're told, for researchers to help try and find a cure for this virus. It sounds kind of groovy. Nobody quite knows what it does, but the VG Hub are supporting it 110%. So, if you go to @folding a thumb, that's at FLODING ATHOME. This is very serious, Kim. I would stop laughing. People are dying. We're trying to help them.
The chat, okay.
Folding at home, okay. And we go there, and our team number is 237633. You download an app, and it will spare processor time, will help crunch all this data where they're trying to find a cure, and help to accelerate the open science effort to develop some new life-saving therapies. Not even the VG Hub quite knows what this does, but it feels like we're doing something. So what we can do is give up plastic straws and have paper ones. We can do that. We can bring our own bags to the supermarket, and we can help with this research somehow. So go to Folding at Home. You'll get the link from there. Our team number is 237633, and Duke is very excited about this. So support us and Duke. Save the world.
Do not give up your plastic straws. Paper straws are evil and they fail. Stupid. I hate paper straws.
Definitely, we've done everything we can possibly do to help save the world. We've given up straws. We've brought a plastic bag, our own bag to the supermarket. That's enough. That's enough. We bought a Prius. We've done enough.
No, we're not buying a Prius.
Anyway, support that thing. Good. All right. So, what's going on? New releases. Kim, talk some more.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, your new releases for March 15th through the 21st are Green and Orcs Life for the PC on the 17th, MLB The Show 20 for the PlayStation 4 also on the 17th, RBI Baseball 20. There's a lot of 20s going around, or at least 2s. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, iOS, and Android on the 17th. The Division 2 for Stadia on the 17th. Wow. Yeah, relevant they are. Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch on the 20th. Doom 64 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC also on the 20th. Scrolling. Is there any more? Yeah, here we go. Doom Eternal. Boy, it's a Doom week.
So what's Doom 64?
Robin add that? I don't know. Was that one Robin?
Just looking right now. It's a remake.
Is that the old
remake of-
Nintendo 64 version?
It's a 1977 first-person shooter and first developed and published by Midway Games for Nintendo 64. And it was a sequel to Doom 2 in 1994. It's due to be released for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One in March 2020, which is exactly what we're talking about.
Yep. Doom Eternal for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC also on the 20th. And those are your new releases.
Hey,
Wow.
There you go.
fun facts, kids. One, this is the last year MLB 20 the show or MLB the show will be exclusive to PlayStation. Also,
That's
fun
what you
fact,
said.
Doom Eternal is not 4K on the Stadia.
No, it isn't.
It's 4K in my house, okay?
No, it isn't.
I have special K. Special K. in my house. Okay. Greg DeLacy is going to talk about victory achieved.
I think Pete's hardly said anything all podcast.
Fuck him. No,
Come on,
fuck him.
Pete.
Come on,
No?
Pete. Do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, you
Pete,
ginger
Come on,
boy.
Pete.
Come
Come
Because
on,
Pete loves this competition. Look how many entries he's got.
on. Yeah.
Come on,
Okay,
Pete.
victory achieved then. It's a contest that we have on Twitter. We run it quarterly, and all you need to do to participate is complete a computer game. Take a selfie of yourself, and all you need to do is have the credits in the background as well as your beautiful face, and you need to send it to @OC_podcast with a hashtag victory achieved. And then what we'll do is enter you into our contest, which is soon to end on the 31st of March. You can either win $20 or £15 if you're in the UK, and that could be a gift card for PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam. Right. This week's people that are entered into this contest. Robin, stop writing the C word. Okay, so we've got myself. Oh no, he's naughty. There's myself. I completed Battlefield Bad Company 2 and
Great
Mass
game.
Effect.
Terrible game.
Caliburn M completed Return of Orba Din. Generally Jim completed Skyrim. Colin All Cars completed Bioshock 2. Mr. Miyagi also completed the same game. Mr. Miyagi 1984 was sorry. Oh no, completed Borderlands.
No, that's a different game.
Sorry. Jenna PQ completed Battlefield 5. I'm really getting put off. He's doing this on purpose. I hate him. I love him. Steffi Cubs UK fans completed Halo 5. Game Over UK completed Resident Evil 2. Mr. Miyagi 1984 completed Yakuza
0.
No, 0898. Look at that.
Wait, no, they call me big boy.
Oh wait, no, I'm on 50. Didn't take you. Completed Thimbleweed Park. And Gunslinger X 1983 completed Blair Witch.
Well done, Pete. Well done.
Excellent, Pete. I'll give you that.
I'm sweating. You know, I hate reading anyway. I hate reading.
I've just taken a screenshot of that.
Yep.
So why don't you read it again, but actually read what's on the screen?
Just want to do a highlight a couple if you want.
Oh my lord. There's a lot of bad language.
That's okay.
Anyway, so that's victory achieved this week. Thanks, Robin.
Return of Obra Dinn, cunt.
The legit cunt.
Battlefield-
Massive
Battlefield
cunt,
vagina.
twat cunt.
Thimbleweed,
big dick.
finger. Yeah.
Resident
Finger up
smelly
your
twit.
Right, they all
Well
get
done.
this special
Very good.
sound clip anyway.
And all the people that done that for completing those games, you're entered into the draw, and you're going to win money. And for that, just in the meantime, you get this, and that's going to be live right now from Greg DeLacy. Okay.
All right,
Feel what?
I'll play it then.
You all have a victory's achieved. Victory's achieved. You have one. A victory's achieved.
You're
Oh, these are nightmares, but I love you all very, very much. Well done, everybody.
Nobody
for
puts
surviving.
baby in the corner.
Nobody I put you in the corner and you failed. Anyway, like lots of people in the chat, and we'll get to those in a second. You can be part of this madness every week. If you come live onto twitch.tv/OC podcast or Mixer or YouTube, and we do this at 9 o'clock and in some places and 1 o'clock in some places, and at every time at 4 o'clock somewhere. So 24 hours a day, we always do it at the right time. And you friggin' dog, monkey, soldier, pony dog. It's been fantastic. And the people that have been in the chat tonight, especially Polar Knights, who must be somebody we know, because who's changed? Polar Knights, identify yourself now. Come out from behind the curtain, because we don't know you, because you've been good fun tonight. Kim, can you have a look who all was in there tonight apart from Polar Knights? Because he seemed to have taken it over, and it's been brill fun tonight, and very, very funny.
I can do that.
You can leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you leave reviews. You can send us some toilet roll or join one of our clubs.
Some pasta. Why the fuck are we taking pasta? Stop piling tin stuff. Yeah, that keeps pasta. Anyway, carry on.
So please send us an email at podcast@ocpod.com. You can tweet us at OC_podcast. Our Facebook is fb.ocpod.com. And if you want to do all those sorts of things, somebody that might be here very, very soon will tell you more. Mark, that's me.
You like us, we like you. See where I'm going with this? Follow us on Twitter at OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook, fb.ocpod.com, or email us, podcast@ocpod.com. We'd love to hear from you.
There's no cure for being a cunt.
Captain. Excellent stuff. Really good. That's it. The madness is almost over. Greg Delicious have a night off. I've never seen him so quiet in my life.
I know, right? It's weird.
Yeah.
Just being respectful.
It's lovely.
Of my elders.
Okay. Greg, seeing you're opening your slap loose jaw, would you like to say hello to anybody or goodbye to anyone?
Yes, I would love to say shout out to you guys here. This has been fun. It's been nice to sit back and not have to worry about anything. Make fun of Pete most of the night. Take some shots at Robin here and there. Nice to see Tin Cup in the house. And of course, Kim, as always. It's good to hang out and chat. So, no, it's been good. It's been good. My big shout out to the world. Hey, hang in there. It's going to be fine. We're going to get through this. And if we don't, well, I was wrong. Sorry. But if we can, just hold off on the apocalypse for like a week. Not asking for much. just give me a week.
Hawaii.
Because here's the thing. If I get stuck in Hawaii, I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to get out there. And then whatever
Watch
happens,
out for the mist and the polar bear thing.
I know.
And remember the numbers you have to put in, 127, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I will catch up on my my lost episodes to make sure I'm good to go. But
sorry, when is it you go again? Sorry.
So we officially fly out in the morning of the 23rd. So I won't be here next weekend just because we'll have all kinds of running around to do leading up to that.
Yeah.
Likely buying hazmat suits to wear out at the poolside. Need to make sure they have correct straw holes so we can drink our Kahlua coladas without catching fires.
With your paper straws.
Yeah. God, don't say that. Anyway. So there we go. That's it. Thank you. I look forward to coming back to the world, hopefully, in a few weeks' time. I'm going to kick this over to the bearded one, the ginger one, the quiet one, Pete.
Thanks, Greg. I'm going to shout out all the people that are not panic buying.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I've not really thought of anybody else to shout out. Apart from you guys as well. It's been great fun getting abused and getting told that all the games that I choose to play are great when I think they're not. You're not going to put me in that force me in that pigeonhole to say that they're good. I'm still going to
be what's the word? Recalcitrant.
And Mark, do you have anybody to say goodbye?
Recalcitrant. No, I'm going to be that. Anyway.
Did you say recalcified?
No.
What was that word? Calcium is like in your teeth.
Recalcitrant.
Recalcitrant.
Come on,
Right.
even the redneck knows that one. Come on.
I think it's someone.
Transgender?
I think it's someone who doesn't conform to rules and they like to stamp their feet a little bit.
In other words, an awkward
Transgender.
bastard.
There we go. I'll hand you over to Mark.
You can find me at Mechanics on all the gaming platforms and on Twitter. I want a shout out to all the panic buyers. Nice one. A shout out to all the social media medical experts. Well done on you. And a shout out to sarcasm, because that's what they are. So, but on a serious note, I want to shout out to everyone to stay safe, wash your hands regular, keep hygienic, and stay safe. And hopefully we'll see you next week if we're not all in quarantine. Kim, over to you.
Oh, all right, finally. All right, Shatters, because we took a long time to get there. Scott Stubby, Polar Knights, Commander Root, another TTV viewer, Aiton, and a Purifoy are Shatters tonight. Mainly, it's been Scott Stubby and Polar Knights, but whatever. So thanks for keeping the chat going, because it's been hilarious in there. It
has been fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. A shout out to you guys. I stand with Pete. Mass Effect sucks. Can't tell me any different. Shout out to you guys.
Kim, you were doing so well.
So
well.
I know.
Nicole, get back quickly. We need.
No. Nicole's in the same boat. She hates Mass Effect.
See? There you go. We're everywhere. So, anyway, shout out to you guys. It's always fun. I don't even need the booze, but it's still fun. So, hopefully this week is better than last week.
I need the booze.
I hope this week is better than last week, because if I have another last week, don't even get me started. So, that's it for me. How about you there, Robin?
Wait, real quick. Hold on, sorry. It's a last week story. It's really hard for me to talk today. Last week story.
Want a drink?
Virus related. Had a bid out to a client. It's kind of a quick turn bid. Really good conversations about it. The client was an entertainment agency for live Broadway shows. They have since said, we're not going to go forward with anything.
You were stretching there, yeah.
Anyway, all right, Robin.
Anyway, to all our listeners, did I say listeners? To all our listeners, stay safe. For the people that were panic buying and the people that didn't panic buy, well, the ones that didn't, you'll be the first to die. So farewell. Try and stay positive, guys. Can I suggest? Sorry, Mark. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, those who don't die will have a clean ass.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. We've seen your instruction booklet earlier on. Stay safe. As Mark says, wash your hands. Do what you can. I would suggest also switching off social media. That might help, and the news and bits and pieces like that there, and just try and stay positive. It's not the end of the world. It's a really, really bad flu-like thing. It's not the flu, but let's keep it realistic and keep ourselves as safe as we possibly can. And as I said before, if anybody feels the need that they're alone or they need help or they're anxious, please contact any of us. Maybe not me, because I might not give you the right advice. But anybody else apart from me will be glad to give you some serious, clever advice that I can completely and utterly miss, and I could suggest something really, really bad. So be safe. Be nice, Greg. I hope that you get away on your holiday. I hope everybody is safe and well. I hope Shell will not. She's just a wee bit sick, a wee bit poorly right now, Pete. And that everybody else has a great and safe, wonderful gaming week. I assure you, if the internet is still alive and there's power around the place, we will be back here next week, and we look forward to interacting with you again. So enjoy, have a safe and wonderful gaming week. Be safe, guys. I don't say I would love you. That's a bit tacky. I love a couple of yous. Not all of yous. Some of yous are a bit smelly. But the majority of yous are really, really nice people. Be nice, be careful, be lovely to each other, Look after your elders.